Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Interjection, joined by Robo, and we're going to be doing some Age of Empires 2 coaching. I'm, pretty good at Age of Empires 3, I like to think. I do a lot of commentary, but Age of Empires 2, not something I've played since I was really a child. You know, I'm pretty familiar with all the units and how everything works, but mechanics, not quite there yet. Game knowledge, definitely not there yet. And over the course of several months, I expect Robo to be able to teach me. We're calling this series...
Robot Teaches Human.
Because?
I am apparently a robot, and Will is hopefully a human.
Yep.
So, to begin with, we're going to be going through the Steam Workshop, collecting some of the basic mods that are very useful for competitive play, and then Will's going to basically decide whether or not he thinks they are useful or not.
All right, am I? That sounds good.
Okay, so we've already done small trees, but we'll just do it again for the benefit of the viewers at home. So if you just search for small trees on Age of Empires 2 HD.
Okay, so imagine this is going up on YouTube at some point, Twitch chat, or perhaps YouTube videos, YouTube viewers rather. At some point in the future, there's going to be lots of new players, we hope, with the definitive editions on the way for Age of Empires 2 and 3, and with Age of Empires 2 DE. Hopefully there'll be lots of new people, and this will be a good sort of resource, sort of starting series to learn the game. So we're going to go over all the basics, even though we expect everybody watching the stream now probably knows all of this stuff. But, also Age of Empires 3 viewers that perhaps watch some of my streams, maybe this will be helpful to them if they want to get on in the Age of Empires 2 action. But, yes, small trees, small beginnings, and...
Yeah, well, this is the only mod that basically everybody has to have, simply because it's so frustrating to try to see stuff behind the trees, because, they take up, almost a fifth of the screen when you get down to it, and it's really difficult to see where the villages are behind the trees, where your units are, anything like that. So basically, we're just going to scroll down here, and you can see there's hundreds of different versions. Most of them are okay. Some of them are a bit weird, like transparent trees. I haven't seen that one before.
Blood tree. Dragon tree. Blood tree map.
Okay, I think that changes the trees to one of the scenario-specific ones.
Right.
Possibly something like that. But anyways, the one we're looking for is Azhara's...
Transparent trees?
Ooh, that just looks a bit strange.
Okay.
You can see through the trees there?
Is that helpful?
I don't know. I've never tried that.
You have all the unit outlines, right? So why would you need it? I suppose small trees are good enough. But, okay, lots of different small trees. But what one is it that you'd usually go for? I know I've heard people say before pussywood, which is...
another name for small trees, essentially. Okay, so the one we're looking for is called Azhara's Small Trees, but we can't see that on the first page. If we scroll back up...
It's probably because I've already installed it, right?
Possibly. So, okay, we'll just go to your installed items. Your... friends items, friends favorites. That's the one. We'll go for that one. The second one from the top. Up one. Yep. There we are. Azhara's default pussywood. So for people searching, that's the one that they want to get. And conveniently enough, there is also the Tech Tree UI, which is the second mod on our list. So if we're going to click on the Tech Tree UI, Will.
Okay.
Yep. And let's just open it up as well so we can show people what it is. So what this mod does is it shows, while you're in-game, what units your Civ has available. What have you done, Will?
What have I done? I've broken
You've
Steam.
selected everything. Just click off to the side somewhere.
I've broken Steam.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Amazing.
Okay, no, perfect. So this basically just shows you, does your Civ have a champion, or is it stuck at two-handed swordsman? Does it show you if you get arbalest or crossbow, siege onager, etc.? Like all the common units and most of the common important technologies, like bracer, the last armor upgrades, etc., etc.
Okay, and it overlays it on top of the UI, so it's quite easy to see.
Yes, so everybody can see it. While we're in-game, other people won't be able to see it because we have cameras, but it is there. Will can see it. And anyone else who uses the mod will also be able to see it. Will is just coughing his guts out, no worries.
My apologies, but the stream must go on.
Okay, the stream must go on. Okay, the next mod we're going to search for is called Light Grid No Snow, or just Grid No Snow. We need to scroll back up a bit, or we'll press back. Yeah, okay, so we're going to search again. We're going to go Grid No Snow.
Grid No Snow.
Alright, and then basically we can pick any of these. They should all be fine. I guess go for the first one, the AOR Grid No Snow.
It's got no one's rated it, Robo. This is no good.
That's okay, but I know the author, so this is fine.
Oh, great. All right.
So we're going to subscribe to this one. So what this does is it removes the white snow textures during the game, which can be quite bright and obnoxious to look at. And then it also overlays a light grid, as we can see in the image, so that you can easily judge range and tile distances, basically, during the game. Then our final 2 mods, we're going to go back again. We're going to search for 2 more.
Okay.
Just press back, top left. Excellent. We're working this out. We're going to search for idle pointer. Now, this one is a bit of a controversial mod. Okay, so the advanced idle pointer mod.
This looks like cheating.
Yeah, well, we're going to click on it, and then we can decide if you want to use it or not.
All right.
Basically, it just overlays an exclamation mark on top of your villages when they're not working.
Okay. This feels like something I shouldn't use. Well, I mentioned it feels a bit like cheating. I don't know. It's sort of this feels quite borderline for me because
it is probably borderline.
Can you get this on Voobly?
Yes, you can get it on Voobly.
Okay. Well, my thoughts are that yes, I absolutely want to use it because it clearly makes the game easier. You can see your idols. But if I ever went to a competitive tournament, although that's quite unlikely, I would expect this to be banned.
It is not banned.
Okay, but it
at
feels
this point
like,
in time, at least.
All right, but it feels like something I don't want to get comfortable using to then be told at some point, right, you can't use it anymore, and then suddenly, bam, I've just lost all of my idle villager skills.
Well, yep, that is a fair consideration.
I'm not going to use it.
You're not going to use it? Okay,
yeah.
That's fine. And then we're going to search for 1 more.
It's helpful to know it exists.
Yeah,
right.
Other people can definitely use it if you want to. I personally love it. It makes my life so much easier.
Okay, so at the moment we're on HD, which is obviously on Steam. At some point, though, we'll move over to Voobly, but I think if we're doing a teaching series, it's probably best to start with HD as it's just easier to install, and then if people get more invested and actually want to play properly, we'll move to Voobly at some point. But certainly to begin with, HD's easier to install, and we'll just get it all going nice and easily.
Yeah, we're just learning the basics where most people get into the game. You know, HD is where people start from. And then
yeah, I like what... Fado member, I think.
Fandom member.
Sorry,
that makes more sense.
I need to put my glasses on. That screen's really far away. Can you make the names bigger? I don't know, but that's definitely better. Learn your idle villager hotkey instead. Yes, that is exactly what I'm thinking, Robo.
Well, no, we're going to learn that too.
Yeah.
But this is just like an additional help. Because sometimes, you know, you're just scrolling around looking for things and you just see that a village is idle.
Okay. I'm actually quite used to... having, you know, quite a lot of information on the screen that will tell you if you have idle vills, whereas
we don't have that for AoE 2.
Yeah, in AoE 2, you don't have any information saying that your villagers are idle, other than if you can see an idle villager, you know, actually in the game, or you're pressing the dot/period key.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's something I'm going to have to get used to.
And then for the final mod, it's going to be fish outline. So just search away for fish outline. Search.
Fish outline.
Yep. This isn't necessary for like most standard maps, but if you're ever playing on a water map or a map that has water, and then better fish tiles, that one there.
Okay. Oh, that's going to be helpful.
Right. This just means that you can clearly see where fish are, because sometimes, especially if there's moving water, like it's difficult to see where the fish are jumping up and down. Whereas this one, it clearly puts a nice big square around it.
It doesn't put these flags on it, does it?
No, the flags are not there. I'm not sure why they're there in the picture, but it just puts the square around all fish tiles, which is incredibly useful.
All right.
There are. So those are the beginning basic mods. There are plenty of other ones to choose from, but they aren't strictly necessary.
Okay.
Right, so I guess now we're going to just launch into a game.
So we're gonna launch the game.
Yeah, so we're going to go to library.
Oh god, I'm going to show everyone my lack of games.
And then scroll up and press play. Yep. There we go.
All right, we're getting into it. Content. This is content now.
Yeah, let's just skip through the ads. We don't need those. Okay, so... now we're going to start off with some of the basic, most simple hotkeys that are necessary.
I'm assuming
to be
to
used.
options.
Yep, to options. Then we're going to go to hotkeys. Yep, interjection. We're using your profile. So at the moment, this is the default HD hotkeys, which are perfectly fine to use. They do make sense in their own way, but we're just going to go through them and explain what they're useful for.
Okay.
At this point.
Maybe this will be a good opportunity as well for me, if I'm used to hotkeys doing different things in other games, to switch them over so that there's a bit of consistency between my
that's
Age
it
of
exactly.
Empires experiences.
Okay, so first of all, we need to, in the unit commands, we need to change or look at economic buildings and military buildings. So we're on the correct screen. These are essentially when you have a villager, you click economic buildings and it opens up the economic buildings tab.
Okay.
And the military does it for the military buildings.
Oh, that's right. You've got different tabs, so to speak, for the...
we have many more buildings than AoE 3 does. So A and S, they're pretty simple to use.
Right.
Maybe you want something else, maybe you don't.
A and S, that makes sense, yeah. Left and right, first two keys, yep.
Yep. Then the next one we're going to look at is set gather point, which is towards the bottom. This is for when you want to, tell your villagers to attack a boar or a deer without forcing the TC to shoot. So this is a slightly advanced mechanic, but we'll demonstrate it during the game. So we just need to take a note that this is T.
Sorry, explain what it does.
Okay, so it sets the gather point onto whatever you're setting to. Normally, you just right-click.
Right.
But if you do that while there is a unit
this,
in the TC, the TC will shoot arrows.
Gotcha.
And if the TC kills a boar or a deer, you don't get any food from it whatsoever, which is obviously a bad thing because, you want the food. That's why you've taken the animal in the first place.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so it's a useful hotkey to know.
Okay, T.
Yep, and then otherwise the next one is unload, which is essentially ungarrison your units to get them out of the TC.
That's going to be N for me.
You want that to be N? Sure.
That's not going to conflict with anything.
Hopefully not. We'll find out when we play. And then I guess the final one is garrison, which is G, to get units into your TC to make sure they don't die to a boar or anything attacking them.
Okay, I can use G.
Okay.
G for garrison.
Excellent. So now we want to scroll down on the hotkey groups to the town center. And then we want to use whatever hotkey you're comfortable with to create villages.
V.
Okay, so you want to change that to V. You want to change go back to work to be something that is useful to send your villagers all back to work. That's not the same as unload.
Okay. Which one am I going to use more often?
Both equally.
Right.
They're both equally important.
What do you recommend?
For me, I use W as go back to work.
Okay, let's use that.
And then ring the town bell. We want to get rid of that. So actually, set town bell to W, and then set go back to work to W, because you never want to use the town bell hotkey. So now there is no more hotkey for it.
Okay.
And then otherwise, we want to go to villager build, the tab above that, and we want to only look at the house, the lumber camp.
House should be E.
Okay. Then we want to look at the lumber camp.
Lumber camp can be anything. What would you recommend?
I use Z, X, and C for lumber camp, mining camp, and mill.
Z.
And then the mill.
Mill will be X.
And then the mining camp.
Mining camp will be C.
Yep. And then those are the only really important ones to begin with. Anything else on my list? Okay, and then we need to go to game commands, and we need to set idle villager.
Hold on, let's go through these. Market should be M.
Oh, you want to change everything at once?
Well, there's no M here. It's not going to conflict, is it?
It will. It'll start to delete other things, but when you get to them, we can change them.
Okay, let's change market to M. Let's take a quick look. Barrack should be B. Blacksmith will be R. Bombard, I don't know. Castle, who knows. Dock would be D. Farm, fine. What is this?
Don't worry about that. That's a special
Victoria.
building. Only one
Okay.
civ gets it.
Gate, house is fine. Lumber camp's fine. Okay, looks good.
You want your stable?
Oh yeah, where's the stable?
Down the bottom.
That'll be S.
And probably the archery range is the other thing that you would want.
Okay, I don't know what I would put that on.
I guess W works then.
Okay.
And then the final thing we want to go to is game commands in the hotkey groups up near the top. And we want to scroll down a little bit. And we want to go to next idle villager to be the two in the middle. There's two options. So you can use whichever two hotkeys you like.
Oh, you can have two hotkeys?
Yes.
Why?
So you can have one on your mouse, one on your keyboard if you prefer that.
Oh, that's interesting. The period button is absolutely fine.
Okay. Personally, I like using tab because it's nice and easy to get to. But, whatever you're comfortable with essentially at this point.
I guess I should have a button on the mouse. That would
Well,
make
that's
sense.
extra button too. There already is one.
Okay.
And then the other one is go to town center.
Go to town center.
Yep, there should be two hotkeys for that one as well.
Okay, well, I'm probably going to hotkey this anyway, so... Is that not a good idea?
It
would be... I think T is my go-to button for that.
Okay, yep, that works perfectly fine.
I don't want another button.
And any other hotkeys that are important in the game? Not really. Like the other ones, like go to buildings in particular, are obviously useful, but I don't think they're necessary right at the beginning.
Right. So these you just want some basic hotkeys, and then as I become more, well versed in the game, I might want to take a look at hotkeys again at some point in my own time and figure that out. But
yeah, exactly.
For the purposes of just, what do you call it? Robo teaches.
Yeah, basically. Robot teaches
human. Robot teaches human. Okay, for the purposes of this tutorial / stream, then we'll just do these basic ones. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. So then I think we're pretty much all done with hotkeys now.
Okay.
We're going to click OK, and we're going to go back.
Don't we want to... Oh, wait. If I'm at the barracks and I want to make a unit...
We could do those now as well if you want to, but in this particular episode, I wasn't really going to go into unit creation. It's mostly just going to be the basic game mechanics and how to start a game and
But
start to build an economy.
That's good to know that they're there, right?
Yeah, but obviously, yes, at some point you will want to set those create unit hotkeys for all the different buildings.
What's next? Let's get into the gameplay.
Yeah, we're going to go into single player. We're going to start a standard game. We're going to change the map to Arabia.
Oh, God.
Location.
Location.
Yep.
I've heard this map is...
It's the most standard map. We're going to change the size to 2-player. We're going to change the victory to conquest. You can change the AI difficulty if you want to.
What do you think I should play against?
Well, let's just start with like moderate, maybe.
Okay.
And we're going to set the victory to conquest down the bottom.
Victory, conquest, okay.
And then we're going to record the game, and we're going to lock the teams.
Okay, and is this the competitive standard?
Pretty much, yes.
Except Arabia, you'd actually pick other maps as well.
Well, yeah, sometimes you'd obviously use other maps.
What's this game random map?
It just changes the game modes. Like if you wanted to play Deathmatch or King of the Hill, Sudden Death, Defend the Wonder, Capture the Rag, there's plenty of different options here.
So random map is just ordinary game of Age of Empires?
Yeah, normal game.
Okay, in Age of Empires 3 we call that Supremacy.
Okay, fair enough. And then otherwise, we're just going to pick a Civ, actually, this game. We're going to choose something that doesn't really have an eco bonus, so you don't get into, I guess, bad habits of relying on a powerful Civ.
Right.
When sometimes you don't have that.
Why isn't Robo wearing his other hat?
Because the other hat doesn't keep me warm, but the beanie does keep me warm.
What is your other hat?
It's like a sort of a bush hat. It's got a rim all the way around the sides.
Fashion.
Keep the sun out of my eyes.
You're going to bring that next time.
Okay, I'll wear it next time just for chat. So for Civ-wise, we're just going to pick the Saracens.
Okay.
Because they don't really have many bonuses. They're standard Civ. They've been in there since the Age of Kings. One of the originals.
Can you tell me what their bonuses are? Let's get an overview.
If you want to, we can go open the tech tree. That big button in the middle.
So they've got a few bonuses, but also there'll be text missing and extra text. Maybe is that how that works?
Yeah, that's how it works. Okay. Every Civ gets 2 special texts that are particular to them, which are called the unique texts.
Right. So let's go over this. Market trade costs only 5%. What does that mean?
So when you buy or sell food, wood, stone, you do it at less of a loss. So like normally you'd buy 100 wood and it might cost you 140 gold. For the Saracens, it's only 110 gold.
Oh, wow. That's
for instance.
Right. So that's just an example. So they have better market trade.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
And then to reinforce that bonus, their markets cost less wood.
Right.
So
how much does a market usually cost?
175.
Okay, that's half
almost half price, basically. Right. So these are obviously bonuses, but they don't really impact the early game so much. Normally, you don't make a market in the Dark Age because it's not available, and it's not normally the first thing you would build in the Feudal Age. So it comes into play later in the game, but yeah, for now it's not really that useful.
Yeah,
I'll fix that in just a second. Transport ships have more hit points, more carry capacity. It's kind of useful, but
so they're
not that useful.
They're twice as tanky, and they can carry 10 units instead of 5?
To begin with, yes.
Okay, but there are upgrades that improve that. Does their bonus stack with the... So if you upgrade it from, I don't know, say 5 units to 6, does that now double to 12? Or does
it used to do that in the original game, but I believe that's been fixed, so it's just doubling the initial.
Okay, so it should just say plus 5 carry capacity.
Yes, that's probably what it should say.
Right.
We could also practice on all text as well, but that's actually a smart idea, but we're not going to do that. Because we still want to be able to look at different civs and talk about them as we play.
I like the idea of doing it with just the Saracens, because then next time I have a different civ, then I'll have different text, and I'll be, oh, that's different, and that should be, reinforcing it a bit better.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to get used to being like, oh god, why don't I have this thing that I was expecting to have?
Yeah,
that's,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then galleys attack faster. That's one of their naval boats.
So that's just a rate of fire increase?
Yes. So they shoot a little bit faster. It's useful, but most people don't play water that much at lower levels, which you are at a lower level at this point.
Okay, so this is unlikely to be helpful.
No, because
Arabia is the whole line, so the upgraded galleys?
Yes, so galleys, war galleys, and galleons.
Right, so gotcha.
So it's obviously useful for water maps, but most people don't play water. And Arabia is definitely not a water map. Then cavalry archers +3 attack versus buildings. It's kind of nice. You can do a little bit of like house raiding and stuff, which is cool, but again, it's not a super powerful bonus. It's not like +3 attack versus all units. It's only buildings.
All right, and how does... So in Age 3, for example, you've got ranged attack, melee attack, and a siege attack, and the siege attack is what's used to attack buildings. So what damage do they use to... What determines how much damage you'll do to a building?
Every unit has just their one attack, and it's either a melee attack or a range attack.
Right.
And sometimes there are like attack bonuses versus certain types of units, but that's very advanced things that we
Okay.
don't really need to go into.
I've heard
right
you
now.
talking about that before. It sounds like a lot going on.
Yes,
That,
and it's a lot of hidden data. So like, it's not written. Like, for instance, if you ever look at a skirmisher, like their stats here, it says that they're good. They've got an attack bonus versus archers, but it doesn't say how much that attack bonus is.
Right.
Right.
So right now, I just need to acknowledge that they're good against archers, and maybe later I can get into the specifics of exactly how much better and what the exact numbers are of how much extra damage.
Yeah,
is
but
going to do
it's very
damage.
unlikely to really matter.
Okay.
At this point.
So 3 extra damage versus buildings for cavalry archers.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Unique unit, Mameluke. That sounds really strong. In Age 3, this is one of the strongest units.
This is also one of the strongest units in AoE 2.
Baby. That suits me down to the ground.
The problem is that it's a very expensive unit, and it requires quite a few expensive technologies to use. So it's very much a late game power unit, not something that you'll see in every game. And it also, because it's a camel unit, they tend to have bonuses versus other cavalry units. So it's good if the enemy is making knights or their own camels or anything like that.
Pardon me.
Then their unique text, Madrash. Monks return some
That's
of
a
their
good
cost.
curry, that. Pardon me.
It might be, but it's not particularly a useful tech, because often you're not going to make lots and lots of monks. So getting back some of their gold cost isn't that useful.
Oh, when they die, they give you what? So how much do they cost?
They cost 100 gold, so you
So
get back 33 gold.
What? That just appears in your coffers
Yeah, essentially.
in inverted commas.
I don't understand how it works, but it just does, and it's not always that useful.
Oh, well, I expect that. Okay, so it would be good if you were trading more monks.
Yes.
That's an interesting kind of bonus, though. Is that applied to other civs with, say, a different unit? Like, imagine if your knights gave you back.
I don't believe there are any other bonuses like that.
Oh, but that mechanic sounds awesome. I like the sound of
The
that.
real problem with this tech, like this is going really, really advanced, is normally when you make monks on, let's say, an arena map, you're trying to rush out with monks to convert the enemy units. But the unique text can only be researched in a castle, so you have to build a castle while also monk rushing. So you have to spend a ton of villager time gathering the stone and then building the castle, which means you have less resources to make the monks to attack with in the first place.
Okay.
So it's sort of like leaning in two different directions.
What's zealotry?
Well, as it says on the box, camels and Mamelukes have plus 30 hit points.
So basically all camel units?
Yeah, so there's only 2 camels. Well, there's the camel and the heavy camel. And then also, if we scroll over, the Mameluke. Just
Okay.
these 2 unit lines get plus 30 HP.
It looks like some dude riding a trebuchet in the image.
In the image, yeah. It's just a dude on a camel.
Right.
Big brown camel. And then the team bonus, so if you're playing in a team game, all the players on your team will get plus 1 attack against buildings for their foot archers. Which is...
Okay, do I get that in a 1v1?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And it also applies to any allies.
I like the idea of team bonuses. That's cool.
Yeah. But the problem with this one, just like the cavalry archer plus 3 attack versus buildings, it's not that useful because often you want your archers to be killing units, not attacking a building.
Oh,
Right.
right. It's building focused.
Yeah.
But still, I'm going to have more archers in general, question mark?
No, there's no cheap... Like, you've got... ideally, you would have the exact same amount of archers, and your bonus does nothing against their archers.
Okay.
If you did, like, the exact same strategy. But I think we've sort of just briefly gone through the civ here. Are you confident? Do you understand?
Do I understand?
Yes.
I understand that my civilization has bonuses, yes.
Yes, and that they are not that useful at this point in time.
Okay, why'd you pick this civ then?
Because it has no bonuses. It is just as vanilla as you can get.
So its bonuses are so useless that it's considered to not really have any bonuses.
Basically, yes. That's it exactly.
Why wasn't this changed at some point?
Because
You-
balancing civs is a tricky business.
Right.
And generally, you want to nerf the really powerful civs before you buff the weak ones.
Okay, so... Right, my
Okay.
civ has no bonuses. Brilliant.
Essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
It
So-
has bonuses, but it has no bonuses.
Yeah. Are you ready to get into a game?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So, do you remember any of the hotkeys that you set?
The ones I set, yes. The ones
Okay.
I didn't set.
Okay, well, you don't need to worry. Oh, okay, well,
Well,
we'll
let's
try to
hope-
learn those as we go along.
Yeah, at least it's against an AI. I can keep figuring out my hotkeys.
Yeah. And if we have to, we can pause and we can check the hotkeys.
Yeah,
So,
ideally no, but yes.
Ideally, no. So, the plan is once the game starts, you're going to queue some villages, like as many as you can in your town center, and you're going to make 2 houses with your villagers.
Should we start?
We can start whenever you're ready.
Like this?
Yep, and then click start.
I should put the headset on.
Yep, so that you can hear the game sounds. That would be very useful.
Okay, so A,
Q.
Q, fuck. I want to start again.
Oh, you changed the hotkey, didn't you?
What was it? E. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that was probably painful
That's
for
fine.
everyone
you
in
need
the
to queue some villagers as well.
V. Yeah.
Yep. So normally what you would want to do is you want to build one of the houses with 2 vills,
Right.
and then the other house with just a single vill.
This
But
moves
that's
around
okay
so
at this point.
quick. This is nuts.
And then so you know how to do control groups, correct?
Yeah.
So that is useful for scouting like this.
Okay, right. For when you're looking for...
Yeah, you can just instantly jump around between them.
All right.
Oh, yep, we found some sheep. You want to lure them back to, or walk them back to the town center,
Whoa.
and bring the villagers back as well. And when you kill the sheep, make sure it's underneath the TC completely, and make sure that all the villagers only kill 1 sheep at a time.
Where are you going? Okay.
So you want to garrison them?
Oh,
'cause
shit. I think she had 10 wood.
She did have 10 wood.
That's annoying.
That's why you want to garrison into the TC. So G in.
What now?
Yeah, with the guy carrying wood, because you don't want wood at this point, you want food. Yep, and then put them onto sheep. Onto the 1 sheep. 1 sheep.
Too late.
Okay, we're going to kill 2 sheep then.
Right. So you want them all on 1 sheep, and that's to avoid the decay?
Yeah,
I
so that
presume?
just to reduce the amount of food that is wasted due to rot. Because at all times you lose, like, I don't know, something like 1 food every 2 or 3 seconds.
Can't. Oh.
You don't have enough food, so you can't make another villager. You have to wait for them to drop off. Or you can tell them to force drop. Yep, perfect. Now you've got enough food for another villager. So now what we want to do is we want to send new villagers to a wood line, and we want to build a lumber camp.
So how many go on food?
Normally you want 6, we've got 7, that's fine. And then we're also going to need to make a house in a second.
Okay, so this guy coming out, he can do it.
Yeah, build a house and then go over to the wood line.
A, E.
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay.
So something else that is useful to make sure you control your village as well is you put all the sheep gathering bills on 1 control group.
Okay.
So like say all of them on say control 3 or control 2, something like that.
Control 3.
Alright, so then when you want to tell them to do something, you just press 3.
What is the lumber camp hotkey?
Or whatever you set it to be. I think it was X? Nope, Z. Go back. There we are. And right up against the trees. Perfect. And keep queuing villagers.
Okay.
So you want to leave the gather point on wood?
The fact that when I press T, it selects the town center,
Yes.
and T is also the special way to make the villagers return to work or something.
Did you set that to be T?
I might have done.
I think you probably left it on W.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So let's test that. Okay, garrison all the villagers in the TC,
Oh,
like just
God.
those ones.
That's against the AI, so it's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine. So just press G and jump in for lots of the vills, like all of the food vills, put them all in. And then press W. And yeah, so they've all gone back to what they were doing.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
Right, so I think we're at the point where we can start to lure a boar now. So there's one guy that's idle underneath your TC.
Oi, lazy.
Yep. So probably put him on his own separate control group so that you don't lose track of him.
Okie dokie. So, where is he? He can be control 2.
Yep, perfect.
1.
2.
2.
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
You got that down pat and just run straight back underneath the TC.
And he'll follow me all the way?
He should. Unless you've only shot him once, but you shot twice, so we're doing this perfectly.
Okay,
And then just press 3, and you'll select all those villagers, and you can tell them to shoot the boar.
what now?
Now, yeah, start shooting. And then get number 2 to jump into the TC. And then
Oh, and it stops. Nice.
Yep. It just sort of just sits there for a second while it tries to work out who do I attack next.
Right, and will it ever figure that out? No, because it'll be dead.
Ideally, that is the perfect
So,
goal. That's what we want to see happen.
Is my scouting okay? Is there anything I should be looking out for? Like,
Well,
around
we
my
found the
base?
main gold. We found the wood lines. We found our berries. That's pretty good. So, oh no, we're housed. Need to make another house. And we also want to cancel the villager that's queued up and research loom.
Okay, so that's like your backstop if something goes wrong.
Yeah, essentially. And then so now our next villagers, we want to send them to berries, and they're going to need to build a mill on the north of our base.
Okay. So when did the deer come into this?
I don't think we're going to worry about deer at this point. We could maybe mill them later on if we want to. Ooh, that's nice. Well done.
Right, what is it? Z?
No, A and then
AZ.
AX.
How do I go back?
And you should press escape and start again.
AX, right.
Yep. Nicely done. And keep queuing villagers.
Okay.
And then you're probably going to want to go lure the second boar now.
Where
It's
is
on the right. There it is.
it? Gotcha. Right.
Okay, and make
So-
her control 2 now. Yep.
Oh shit,
And
these.
then they can just chop some wood while they wait. Because there needs to be villagers underneath the TC to kill the boar.
Gotcha.
Otherwise you have problems when it gets there and you're like, oh no, my villager's going to die. 1 shot, 2 shot, and run!
Can they get some shots on whilst they're...
They will drop off whatever wood they're carrying.
Oh, so don't do that.
No.
I wanted them to help.
And then the problem is like they might accidentally target that villager. But now that you have Loom, your villagers are much more tanky. They've got +50. Oh, you just shot it with the TC.
Ah, how do I stop?
Get the villager out. Oh, that was close. See, so that's why we want the set gather point hotkey.
Yeah.
So
I just forgot what it was. That was the awkward thing.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Okay.
But we'll get there, okay? It's not going to be a, one day and you're already pro at this game.
Yeah. Okay. So this is fine.
Yep. So you're probably going to want to make another house soon because you're nearly at 20 pop.
Right. A, E.
Yep, nicely done.
Okay. Do they lure the boars well, the AI?
On the lower levels, they do it pretty badly. As they start to get better and more advanced, they tend to do better jobs at it.
Okay. Right. So where the new villagers to?
We want to put the new villagers, keep them on the boar.
On the boar.
Yep.
Right.
So, and then the injured villagers that did the boar luring, we want them to make some farms near the TC.
The injured ones?
Yes,
okay.
because then they stay near the TC, and if they get attacked, they can just jump in the TC and be safe.
When do I start doing? When the boar runs out?
No, start doing them now. So
okay. So what? A, and what's the hotkey for farm?
I think it's whatever you said it to be.
It's A.
AA.
AA.
Nice.
Okay.
Just need to avoid the tree.
Is there a way to see how much health they have without having to individually click them?
Yeah, you have to just individually click them.
Okay.
Or select all of them and see how much they have. So I think maybe after these villages are done, we can probably go up to the next stage. So just put them on wood, put them on the trees near the TC at this point.
Right.
And then keep making a couple more farms.
Oh, these guys?
Yep.
Alright, so they need to do that. It's B. Fuck. B.
A.
No,
A.
I keep thinking A is build. It's not. Right. U. A.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
You just deleted that tree, no worries. And you can go up to feudal age now.
Okay.
And then now we don't have enough wood for any more farms. That's fine.
I feel like an absolute pro with Robo whispering this constant stream of information into my mind. I feel like I'm Robo. I'm at one with the Robo.
Oh, well, we're not there just yet. But so this is sort of a basic Dark Age kind of build order.
Right. I might got the vills probably a little bit off, but
yeah. Normally we wouldn't have this many vills and berries and maybe not this many farms, but at this point it doesn't really matter, right? We're just trying
a few more on wood. It's not really that many.
Yeah, a couple more on wood would be good.
So let's take some of the berries.
Yep. You can just garrison them straight into the TC because they drop off resources when they hop in.
Oh, so just press G and they'll go in there, and then I can eject them all out over this.
And they'll drop off the food as they go.
But why are they not going inside? They've gotten stuck.
They're bugged for pathfinding.
Wow, that is.
And then you start ungarrisoning them, instantly. You don't need to wait for all of them.
Don't need to wait. Gotcha. Oh, that's much easier. Okay, that's like a great trick. That's like a little tip. Should make a little trick video about that, Robo.
We could do that. Well, and also, you know how you're dropping off the wood before you make a farm?
Yeah.
The farm will drop off the wood once it's finished. So you didn't have to do that.
A farm is a one-time lumber camp.
Essentially.
Wow, that's
or a mining camp, whatever resource they're carrying, it'll be dropped off once they're finished.
At the farm. Whoa, so it's got that's a consumable. Should I attack this guy?
It's not worth it. He's just going to run away.
Okay.
So what we're going to want to do is we want to build a barracks with one of the woodvilles because we want it on the front of our base.
Will the barracks drop off the wood, or do I have
to? No,
to?
it will not. But it doesn't matter. They won't lose their wood until you click on a resource.
Here?
Yeah, that's fine. And then now with feudal age, we want to make some more villages.
Oh, yep.
What is your villager hotkey?
Yeah. Can I make them, when they finish, go back to wood, or...?
No, it does not work like that.
Okay, so shift clicking's not a thing.
Only for movement. And then what we want to do now is we want to click on the lumber camp.
Okay.
And research the double bit axe. That makes all wood chopping 20% faster.
Right, new vills go to wood?
Yes, that's fine for the moment.
Right. Do you want to make the tablet work so we can see?
That is a good plan.
What's chat saying?
Chat is saying...
Make spearmen?
No, we don't want those. We want to make a stable now.
Oh, it's just for going up to the next stage.
No, actually, we could have made the barracks in the Dark Age, but we didn't because I forgot.
Okay.
But we want to be doing scouts at this point because they're nice and fast units so that we can run around the map.
Right, gotcha. Shall I harass his vills?
You could do that. Normally it's a little bit BM to do that versus the AI, but no worries.
Oh, shit.
Because now you can just run away and they'll just chase you for a while. And they go idle for a long time.
Okay, well, I've got to figure out my housing because I've just got popped.
Yep.
Oh.
Nice. Using the idle villager hotkey, that's good.
I think they're going to build another when they're done, I think. Oh, that's not a...
Alright, so now that we've built the stable, we want to queue up a couple of scouts. So just click on the icon at this point. We can worry about those hotkeys later.
Okay.
And then once we've got 3 or 4 scouts created, we're going to go attack. That's the plan at this point.
Okay. Shall I build more farms?
That is probably a good idea. And we also probably want to send some new villagers to gold.
Okay.
So, yep. And that villager that's on the wood, she can go build a mining camp already there, just so you're ready. See.
Will she drop off her 1 wood in the mining
Yes, she
camp?
will.
Oh, mate, what a hero.
No.
What is it?
It's the C.
C. Okay. Right there or
No,
there?
they leave 1 tile gap.
Okay.
That's perfect. So then they've got space to
Would
sort
it
of
be better
work
on this
around.
side? Because there's 3? Or...
Well, that one side's got 3 as well. It's all...
Oh, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Right.
At this point, it's semantics. It doesn't make a huge difference.
Okay.
Then we want to keep pressing the idle villager button.
I'm used to having that on the screen, so she...
You can make the farms around the mill as well.
Oh
so
yeah,
they don't
good
need to
shout.
go so far
I
away.
do know this. I just wasn't doing it. Okay, so you... Oh, she's doing one.
Yep.
He's not.
Perfect.
Cool.
Keep getting some more vills. Check how many scouts we've got
How
now.
do I access the stable with a hotkey? Is there something that goes... Or do I have to hotkey this onto, like, control?
No, there is a hotkey to do it, but at this point, we're not worrying about that.
Okay, I've got 4 scouts now.
Okay, so then group them all together.
Control 3. That's what I usually use for cavalry. Oh, nice.
You stole some of the enemy sheep. Whew. Okay, so you probably want to get your number 1 scout as well and group them all up together.
Okay.
And then, so if you just check their stances in the bottom left, if you select all of the scouts.
Let's do that. Whoa. Right.
Okay, so you see how they've got the green on the aggressive stance?
Yeah.
If you press number 1 and have a look at him. Oh, no, you've ungarrisoned him. Just click on him by himself at the top. He's not on aggressive stance.
Okay.
So he won't attack unless you change him to aggressive.
Oh, they've got archers.
That's okay.
I bet I absolutely smash archers with cavalry. Is that
Yeah,
right?
you will murder him at this point.
Okay.
You have so much more army than he does.
Pardon
So
me.
wheelbarrow is a really good upgrade. So we probably want to do that soon. Ooh, we want to be careful of the TC though. Just like in AoE 3, it does lots of damage if you're not careful.
Okay.
So do you remember what the counter to archer units is?
Cavalry. Oh, skirmishes.
Ah, that's it. So we might want to consider making some of those.
Oh shit.
Or possibly even just continue making more scouts at home as well. So we want to do wheelbarrow? Yeah, because what wheelbarrow does is it makes all your villagers work a little bit faster.
This one?
Yep, research that as well. They walk faster and they carry more resources. So they're just generally more efficient. Which is very nice. Okay, so we're doing pretty well here. We're harassing his villagers, making them go idle. We're killing some of his military. Unfortunately, he does have a score lead at this point, though.
I'm shit.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, Robo.
That's fine, that's fine. So we might want to make some archery ranges with the wood bills on the front.
A R? No.
Oh, it's S
S.
something.
A-S.
SS, I think?
A-S.
No, SS. No, S
My
something.
cav are probably dying.
That's okay. You can always make more of them.
Yeah, they're all dead.
It's T90 fine, don't worry.
It's not. It's because I'm spending too much time manipulating the UI and not knowing how to build a stable.
That's just normal, right?
Okay,
This is your first game, basically.
Right, I think the best thing to do is not get ahead of myself. If I'm going with military, go in with military and focus on them, and then come back out and keep them safe, and then go back to macro.
That's probably a good
right,
plan.
Okay, let's do that.
The AI
Let's
is
not-
on moderate difficulty on HD. So at this point, you see how far the villagers are walking to drop off wood?
Oh, I need a new camp. Gotcha.
New lumber camp, that's it, exactly.
Right, all of them or just a couple?
Just grab like 2 or 3 of
Shall I
them
go
to
to
do it.
this wood over here?
No, keep using that one, because that
Okay,
one's
right.
relatively safe. It's not too far away from your base.
So, like here.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
that's nice.
Right, those can go to wood. We've got one of these now. Let's make
Yep.
some archers. Shall I hotkey this? Control.
If you want to. Yeah.
Right, control. I don't know what that should be.
Just anything you like. Whatever you're not using at this point. And then we also want to make a blacksmith soon so we can get some upgrades to make our military better. Which is R, yes.
It's R because in Age 3 it's Arsenal. So
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, we've got enough villagers on gold now at this point, so we want
shall I rally over here, do you think?
to... maybe not. We don't want to lose them one at a time, right? We want to mass up a little bit beforehand.
Okay.
So normally you would want to attack all of your villagers on the same villager. Or sorry, all your scouts on the one villager, because it takes a while to kill them. But we don't want to fight that much army. He has a lot of dudes.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Yep. Okay, so now that we have a blacksmith,
Can I press Shift 3 to add them to Control 3?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that works on HD.
It doesn't work.
No, so you need it.
Does that work on Voobly?
It's an option on Vibly, yes.
Okay, so I'd have to select them and then grab them and then press Control 3.
Yeah.
Right, Shift 3 adds on H3.
Yeah, and you can do that on Vibly as well.
Okay.
So we want to go to the blacksmith now. And we
Oh
wanna,
yeah, upgrades are really important.
Yeah, so the last one on the right, yeah, that one. +1 armor on the scouts, which is good versus archers.
Get this. Put one of them in there. Why not? Okay, I've got pretty bad macro at this point, so
it's okay.
I want to be spending resources, right? So let's just probably want another
archery range would be good, I think.
Okay, so AR, no, fuck. Just build the archery range like this.
When you click on it in the build menu, you can see what the hotkey is as well, if you forget.
Okay, I'm housed, wonderful.
Don't worry, it's a common problem. You should just get one villager and just place down like 5 or 6 house foundations, and they'll just build them all. You can use shift when you're building, and you just keep placing them.
Okay.
Like, go to build again, just to practice it.
Right, so A,
and then hold shift while you're clicking.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Probably in a more not ridiculous
position normally.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
This game has grids. Age 3 does not have a grid. You just like everything's so smooth. Like
yeah, you can just put it wherever you want.
Yeah, so like I've got to get used to placing things in grids and stuff.
And then we want to make sure we use both of the archery ranges. Seems we have finished them both.
Okay, so I should probably hotkey them now. Is it is it going to use multi-queue?
Yes, it will use multi-queue.
Okay, so 9. Let's train those.
Yep.
Let's make some
we want to put more villagers to wood now, because we're spending a lot of wood and we
Should
don't
I
have
make a new one over here?
Yeah, that would be good.
What's he doing?
He's just running around.
Is he scouting because I killed his scout?
I would think so. I think that's what the AI does.
Okay, so I got to keep just macro, macro, macro. That seems to be all this game is. At my level.
Yeah, at the low levels, definitely.
Right,
But you want to make sure you keep pressing the idle villager button.
Alright, that's important. Yeah.
Because idle villagers are dead villagers.
Well, whilst they're not working.
Yeah, while they're not working, they may as well be dead.
Right, so AX.
AZ.
AZ. Gotcha. You can put that.
Yep. So you're killing that archer nicely.
Don't have enough wood to rebuild that. This could be an issue all of a sudden.
Right. And then, actually, you might want to go to the stable and research bloodlines. So cancel the second scout, and then once that's finished, that gives you plus 20 HP on all of your scouts, which is pretty good.
Okay.
Yep. And then we want to go to the blacksmith again, and we want to upgrade our archers.
How much does it give?
Plus 20 HP. So it's 45 up to 65.
That seems quite good, actually.
Yeah, it's almost like a 35% increase.
Gotcha.
So blacksmith. And we want to do fletching. That's the bottom left. It's +1 attack and +1 range for all ranged units. Or most ranged units, I should say. Which is really nice. But we have a problem, though. The enemy has advanced to the castle age.
Okay.
So we might want to go attack him before he gets too many upgrades.
Okay, let's go.
And there's also attack move. I believe it's just hotkey A.
I need another button for hotkeys for idle villages.
You don't like using full stop?
I think something on the mouse would be easier. Full stop. Just have to keep
mouse
taking
button 2 should work.
Okay. That's town center.
Okay, maybe not then. That's why I like using tab, because tab's just like your pinky sort of
Right,
just always sits there.
now, so we're not going to macro. We're gonna,
that's fine.
So what do I attack move? Shall I just? I don't want to just go right in there. Should I?
The problem is that he has a lot of army, but we're really far away from going to castle age. I'm not sure what she's doing. Now you might want to cancel those villages and go up to castle age. In a second.
Skirmishes are going to.
Yeah, you want the scouts in front of your archers if you're going to take a fight.
Can I pull them? Like.
And to walk faster? No, it doesn't work like that. It just slows down the front ones.
Right. In Age 3, doing this would pull the archers towards the cavalry, and they'd try and sprint there because they want to get into formation.
It can be done in very specific circumstances, but it's not very common in AoE 2.
Okay.
So we want to go up to castle age now. And at this point, we just sort of want to stall
out. I feel like I
out.
should fight. They're coming. Right, I'm going to have to fight this.
Yep. Just charge in there.
Shall I focus things down?
At this point, it doesn't really matter. Just leave them there, see what happens.
Does fletching affect the skirmishes?
Yep, it does. So, like, our archers, they're sort of sitting on a hill, which is nice. They do a little bit more damage and take a little bit less damage.
This is surely over.
This is surely over, yes.
Okay, well, I can't even beat the moderate. That's amazing.
Well, to be fair, it's your first game in 10 years, something like that.
Yeah, and I've never... this is probably the best game I've ever played in 10 years.
Right? Because normally, when you played as a kid, right, you would just...
I just messed around,
Yeah, you'd spend like 30 or 40 minutes making a nice pretty town.
That's
and
gotta
then,
be GG, right?
Yeah, that's definitely GG.
Okay, well, that was... Wait, surely that... Was that right?
Yeah, just quit. There is no resign button, which is kind of annoying in 1v1s. With the AI.
Yeah.
So...
That was good, I like it.
Like, obviously, it didn't go perfectly. Right?
Yeah.
There's no question about that. But, you know, we've started to explore a little bit. We've learned...
I can't believe that was 30 minutes.
Of game time, yeah. Because it's 1.5 times speed. So that's only 20 minutes of real time.
Are you sure? I feel like I've just had so much fun playing Age of Empires 2 that it's just gone so quickly.
It's gone so quickly.
AoE will in the chat.
Yep, here comes the pep talk. So yeah, like, obviously we had some problems, but, you know, we've explored the mechanics a little bit. You did your ball lures very well. You got that bit down pat pretty nicely. You were making villages most of the time. There wasn't too much idle time. You need to press the idle villager hotkey more.
Yeah, I need to reassign that.
Okay.
Let's put it on a mouse button.
Let's do that now then.
Okay.
Before we forget about it. Just to make it easy. Like, if you're not going to use tab for anything else, I highly recommend using tab.
Okay, let's use tab.
Because, right, when your hand sits on the keyboard, right, you've got your index fingers on F and J.
Comic K's in the chat. Yep. What does tab do in Age 3? Is it anything? Am I going to get confused? Because I don't want to be playing 2 different games with different idle villager hotkeys in different games.
I have no idea what your AoE 3 hotkeys are.
I don't think tab does anything in AoE 3, so I could just use tab in both games if I get used to it. Thing is, though, in Age 3, you're like less likely to have idle villagers because when they finish building a house, you can shift click them back to the resource.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got much more control over what they're doing.
Yep.
But like the reason I just love tab because
your
your pinky is just always on tab.
Right.
Right. So it's just easy to just press it whenever you're not doing anything.
Okay. I had a friend that was really good at Age 2 and Age 3, and he would just smash like his spacebar all the time, which was his idle villagers.
Mm-hmm.
For me, spacebar is attack move, so I couldn't.
Okay. Well, I use space as go to town center, but right, everyone has their own little personal twerks.
Did Maito subscribe? I think he did. Thanks for the subscription, Maito.
Did he?
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, he's clearly a subscriber.
I think that was probably one of the other streams.
Right.
Let's scroll back a bit and see if we can find him.
Inter and I are thinking of the same person. Yes, we are. Yeah. Shout out to Ryan Mankel, H2O.
Yeah, he's up on the
first stream. Oh, thanks,
Maito. Good man.
What a! I'll be casting with Maito later, so that's good.
Yeah, in about 10, 15 minutes.
10, 15 minutes. Can we do anything useful in 10, 15 minutes?
We just sort of have a look through the rest of the hotkeys, I think. Okay, because like you were saying, is there a way to go to the stable? Right.
Okay, go to stable.
Right.
Control L. That should be Control S.
Okay. The problem.
Will that cycle through the stables if I?
Yes, you keep doing it if you've got multiple of them.
Right.
The problem with using Control S is obviously like you need 2 fingers to do it.
Yeah.
It's like at low levels, this is fine. Because you can either remember S is build stable, Control S is go to stable.
Right.
But as you get better, you want to be able to quickly go there. So it might be just S by itself.
Okay.
But I guess this is fine for now to help you learn it.
What I'll probably do is end up mouse 1 and 2 in Age 3, I hotkey my barracks and stables to mouse button 1 and mouse button 2. So I imagine I'll do that here. So
like all of the barracks in 1?
Yeah, so I'd reassign Control 9 to be mouse button 1.
Okay. Well, you can do that as well.
Okay, I'm not sure which way round it is though, but
well, I guess we can check that out, and then next time we do this, which is I think going to be this coming Tuesday, I believe we're going to have another coaching session. So before then, we can
I'll have all my I'll make sure I've got hotkeys that I actually like by then. We've gone through the basic ones.
Yeah, like these are just the default ones that everybody should set, regardless of where you're at to begin with, and then as you progress and learn more, you start to get the extra things like the go to stables and the unit creation for the other buildings. But to begin with, it's all about the macro, right? It's making villages, keeping them working, keeping the TC working, and then making your drop sites.
Okay. So will my hotkeys save to Steam, and then I won't have to do it? I can just edit them all easily from one place, no matter where I play.
It should work like that.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Is there a hotkey file then that I can copy and paste?
Yes, there is.
Right.
But it should, if it's working properly, should just sync it every time you load up.
Okay. So I need to go through these in my spare time and really.
Yeah. Well, we can probably do that.
Right.
Some other day when we've got a bit of spare time.